Marriage has long been seen as a cornerstone of society, a sacred bond meant to bring stability and partnership. Yet, in today's world, many are beginning to see it as a scam, a social construct that no longer serves its intended purpose. Why? Because the foundation that once upheld marriage has crumbled. In the past, men and women were trained for marriage from a young age. Women were prepared to be wives, and men were trained to be providers. The institution was upheld by discipline, values, and commitment. Today, people enter marriage with little preparation, expecting love and passion to be enough, only to find themselves facing chaos and disillusionment. Many men bring only money to the table, and when the money is gone, they leave. Women, on the other hand, are constantly scrutinized for their body count, their age, their choices, while men walk away unscathed. If marriage is truly about partnership, why is there such an imbalance in expectations and consequences? The rise of cohabitation and casual relationships has further eroded the institution of marriage. People live together, have children, and then part ways without any legal or moral accountability. The result? A generation of children growing up without stable homes, uncertain of who their father is, raised by single mothers who were left to fend for themselves. Society tells women to be independent, yet punishes them for the very independence they were encouraged to embrace. Divorce rates are soaring, but the real tragedy is that many relationships are ending before they even reach the point of marriage. The concept of lifelong commitment is fading. People want companionship without sacrifice, love without responsibility, and benefits without the hard work. Young women today increasingly prefer older, financially stable men, seeing younger men as unreliable and lacking direction. But this only reinforces the idea that relationships are transactional, based on what one can gain rather than what one can build together. At its core, the downfall of marriage is not just about individuals failing, it's about society losing its moral compass. The values that once held families together have been discarded. The discipline that once shaped strong relationships has been abandoned. And in the chaos that remains, people are left wondering, is marriage truly worth it? Or is it just another outdated tradition that no longer fits the modern world? As more and more people question the institution of marriage, one thing is clear. Unless society rediscovers the principles that made marriage work, commitment, discipline, and mutual respect, it will continue to fade into irrelevance. And perhaps for many that is not a loss, but a necessary evolution. Marriage has long been seen as a cornerstone of society, but in today's world, more and more people are questioning its value. Many believe marriage has lost its original purpose and has become a system that benefits one side more than the other. Let's explore why some people think marriage is nothing more than a trap. The power imbalance. Historically, marriage was often about control. Women were expected to be homemakers, dependent on their husbands financially. They were discouraged from pursuing careers or making independent choices. Marriage, for many, was less about love and more about survival. Even today, remnants of these outdated expectations remain, leading many to believe that marriage is not about partnership, but about control. Financial motivations. A common argument is that many marriages are financially driven rather than based on love or companionship. Some women are still raised to believe that financial security should come from a man, leading them to choose partners based on wealth rather than genuine connection. This dynamic has made many skeptical of the institution, seeing it as more of a transaction than a lifelong commitment. The burden of expectations. Social pressure to get married remains strong. People, especially women, often feel pushed into marriage by family and society before they fully understand what they want in life. Many rush into it without self-awareness, only to find themselves trapped in an unhappy relationship. Those who resist this pressure are sometimes seen as flawed or incomplete, further reinforcing the idea that marriage is a social obligation rather than a personal choice. The history of oppression. Marriage was not always about love. In many traditional settings, it served as a tool to suppress women, reducing them to childbearers and caregivers. In some cultures, women were even subjected to harmful practices like genital mutilation to ensure their purity before marriage. While society has progressed, these historical realities make many question the original intentions behind marriage and whether it can ever truly be about equality. Changing perspectives. With greater financial independence, more women are choosing to remain single or delay marriage. Studies show that divorce rates increased when women gained financial freedom, suggesting that many stayed in marriages before simply because they had no other choice. This shift challenges the belief that marriage is necessary for happiness and stability. The role of companionship. Despite the skepticism, many still believe in marriage as a source of companionship and support. However, for marriage to be fulfilling, it must be entered into with awareness and genuine intent, not societal pressure or outdated traditions. True partnership requires two people who respect and uplift each other, rather than one being dependent on the other. Broken promises and dishonesty. One of the biggest reasons people lose faith in marriage is the lack of honesty and commitment. Many enter marriage with the promise of loyalty, only to break those vows behind their partner's back. When a partner cannot keep their word, it erodes trust, making marriage feel like a deception rather than a sacred bond. Poor foundation and lack of compatibility. Many marriages fail because they start on the wrong foundation. People rush into relationships without truly understanding their partner's values, goals, and lifestyle. They may choose a spouse based on attraction or financial security rather than compatibility, leading to inevitable conflict and disillusionment. Financial motivations and hidden agendas. Money plays a major role in marriage, often becoming a source of conflict. Some enter marriage for financial security rather than love, and when financial struggles arise, their commitment is tested. Others manipulate their partners, hiding assets or expecting financial gain, which makes marriage feel like a transactional arrangement rather than a union built on love. External influence and family interference. Many marriages crumble due to external pressure from family and societal expectations. Some partners fail to set boundaries, allowing their families to dictate the terms of their relationship. When relatives become too involved, sharing intimate details or influencing decisions, the marriage weakens, leading to resentment and eventual failure. Infidelity and the workplace culture. Cheating has become normalized in some social and work environments. Terms like work husband and work wife encourage emotional affairs, leading to distrust in marriage. Many couples struggle with partners who engage in secretive relationships at work, undermining the foundation of trust and loyalty in their marriage. Lack of commitment and discipline. Marriage requires effort, discipline, and commitment. However, modern society often promotes self-indulgence over responsibility. Many struggle to uphold the principles of marriage, finding it easier to walk away rather than work through difficulties. This lack of endurance makes marriage seem like a failed institution rather than a lasting partnership. The impact on children. Children suffer when marriages collapse, often growing up in unstable environments. While some parents try to stay together for the sake of their children, others fail to prioritize their well-being. Broken homes lead to emotional distress for children, reinforcing the belief that marriage does more harm than. Changing expectations in relationships. Traditionally, marriage was built on clear gender roles and expectations. Men were providers and women were caretakers. Over time, these roles have evolved, and with that change, so have the expectations from both partners. Today, Financial independence and career aspirations have shifted the dynamic, leading some to feel that marriage is no longer a necessity, but rather a burden. The impact of sexual morality on marriage. In previous generations, sexual purity was emphasized, and marriage was often seen as the only acceptable space for intimacy. However, modern society has normalized casual relationships, making marriage seem less special. Social media, dating apps, and shifting cultural values have contributed to the idea that commitment is no longer a priority. As a result, trust and loyalty have become rare, leading many to question the institution of marriage altogether. The role of personal philosophy in marriage. People's beliefs about life and morality shape their actions and relationships. Those who believe in traditional values often hold marriage in high regard, while others see it as an outdated concept. The rise of individualism has also played a role, with many prioritizing personal happiness over societal expectations. This shift in mindset has led to increased divorce rates and a reluctance to commit. Social media and the illusion of endless options. The rise of digital platforms has created an illusion of limitless choices. A person with thousands of followers may receive constant attention, making it difficult to remain committed to one partner. This abundance of options can make marriage feel restrictive, as people may always believe that someone better is just a message away. The changing definition of family and commitment. In the past, marriage was the foundation of family life. Today, non-traditional family structures are becoming more common. Single parenting, cohabitation, and alternative relationship models challenge the traditional marriage setup. Some argue that this flexibility is positive, while others believe it weakens the stability that marriage once provided. Conclusion. While marriage still holds value for many, its meaning and function have evolved. Societal changes, shifting values, and the rise of digital culture have reshaped how people view commitment. Whether marriage remains relevant depends on individual perspectives and the ability to adapt to these new realities.